Well, I would just like to pay tribute to a great leader, a world figure, who has strode the world stage with other great world leaders, President Bush, Chairman Gorbachev, myself. But of course, it's axiomatic that all leaders must eventually, at some time in the long run, finally depart, with the odd, very rare exception.
Monday, I'll handbag Hazeltine. Tuesday, well, I won, didn't I? Wednesday, no, never, I will not. Thursday, out, out, out. Friday, Maggie who? Scrap Saturday.
Tuesday, Paris. Dear diary, I tell boss that Maggie is winged and is sure to go, but he is still besotted. Here's herself. Fair play. She's not letting it show, but I think Heseltine has her.
I wish I had her. She's magnificent. A doughty fighter, spirited, never say die.
She never knows when to lie down.
Oh, indeed, I think I might be able to change her on that particular issue.
Now, don't be upsetting yourself, boss. You've only the one change with you.
It's like being with history. I walk tall in her presence. She makes me feel big as the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, boss, look, you're going to destroy yourself.
All right, class, time for catechism. Now, who made the world? Let's see. James McGee.
Who made the world? Good question. Let me see. This would have been when? A couple of million years ago, I suppose. I think it was. And it wasn't the big Bulgarian boy, Alex Sokolov.
That's a very simple question, Jimmy.
Couldn't have been the Russian Stepashkin. I don't think it was him.
Jimmy.
My money's on the man who divided the sea from the land. Tremendous week-long performance, creating the world. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the one and only Lord God Almighty, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're not, Jimmy. Now, how many commandments did God give to Moses?
Sister.
Yes, anybody? No.
Sister.
James McGee, the only one again. Now, it's not fair to leave it all to one boy. All right, James.
Are we talking about the Old Testament?
We are, Seamus.
Let's see now. What have we got? 10 commandments. First, no false gods. Could be tested for idolatry. Second, keep holy the Sabbath day. Why not? It's a big day for sport as well. God must have been a big sports fan. Third, if I recall correctly, is no false gods.
Yes, but how many?
Fourth, honor your father and mother. Why not? About time they won something. All the hard work and toilet training. And fifth is what Mick McCarthy's been getting away with. Murder. So murder, a red card.
How many commandments, James?
Wait a while. Adultery, that's very popular at international level. Bearing false witness, so one thing and another, all in all. Would it be 10 commandments in all?
Correct. Now, who denied our Lord 3 times?
Peter, sister.
Very
sister,
good, James,
Peter.
very
Peter,
good.
sister.
Now, definitely someone else. Who was Peter?
Well, it might have been Hans-Peter Briegel, sister. Also very close for Germany in the
Jimmy,
1982 World Cup
could you
final.
let one of the
Might have
other
been
boys
Peter
answer?
Beardsley, back and forth for England. Great little battler, but he's
Jimmy,
only 28.
Jimmy,
We're
now
talking about
it's
33
not
AD.
fair.
Couldn't be Pete Kaiser, could it? The great
Excuse me, Mr. Quinn.
Hello, madam. Welcome to our store. I hope you're feeling comfortable. Tommy, come here. This lad will help you in every way, madam.
Well, I just have to say, Mr. Quinn, aren't you a little dear?
Well, it depends on what you mean by dear. I'm a little dear, sweet little man, I suppose, and so is Tommy. Smile, Tommy, smile at the customer.
No, I mean, you charge too much. I mean, isn't it cheaper up there?
Don't you say that word in my... I mean one must pay a teensy little bit extra for quality and service, madam. Can they beat our service, Now sit down on Tommy there. Here, relax. Bend over, please, Tommy. Yes, backwards, of course. Now, madam, isn't it fun shopping in Super Quinn?
Well, it's not so much fun if a body can't afford to pay the kind of...
Now, I think you'll find us very reasonable as you go around the store. Tommy will carry you around there. Lift, madam, would you, Tommy? Service, top-class service.
Don't you put me down, for God's sake. What are you doing?
He's helping in any way he can. That's our motto here. Perhaps madam would like something more intimate. Tommy, take your clothes off, would you?
No, look, all I'm saying is I don't see why I
Service,
have
madam,
to
you'll
pay.
come for the quality, you'll come for the service, you'll come again and again. I know, Tommy,
no,
take it
I
easy.
just wanted to buy
No,
a
he's
new
one of our best
toilet
lads. He's one of our best
roll,
lads. Tommy,
so I suppose a bar of life buys...
It's comedy time again with Porrick and the gang and their funny Stone Age ways. Meet the Flynn family in... Meet the Flintstones. Oh, Porrick, I've never bought so much shopping all at once. It's so heavy.
Well, aren't I helping you, pet? I'm carrying the free £6 voucher.
Yes, I know you are. Thank you, dear.
Is the tea made yet?
Well, I haven't even had time to put down the shopping, dear.
Lord, but you're an awful whining woman. And me with a thirst on me after a hard day. Before long, you'll be refusing me my conjugal rights.
Oh, I'll never do that, dear. I mean, you ask so rarely these days.
Hiya, Porrick. Hiya, Wilma.
Hello, Bertie. Did you get your £6 voucher at the supermarket?
Oh, no, Porrick. Betty is away at the moment, so there ain't no one to do the shopping.
Sure, don't worry. Wilma will get everything for you, won't you, love? As soon as you have the tea made for Bertie and me.
Of course, Bertie, dear.
You have to watch Wilma, though, Bertie. She'll be buying you all this environmentally friendly stuff. And of course, you and I both know that that's all rubbish. A bit of an idea dreamed up to fool the women. Amn't I right?
Well, I guess so. You're the expert on the environment, Porrick.
Oh, I don't know about that, Bertie. But I'm an expert on women. I'm not green when it comes to them.
You sure are right, Porrick. Where did you learn to treat women like that? I wish I could.
Oh, it comes naturally. I learnt it at my mother's knee and other low joints. Ha! A cheap sneer at a great politician. Politics is a rough game. Because Joe Soap doesn't understand what is going on. The voting public cannot get the true picture. Take Porrick Flynn, as we have just heard, vilified for a typically courageous stand against Robinson, the people's favourite. The easy thing to do would have been to say nothing about her reconstructed interest in her family. That would have been the easy way out. No, Porrick Flynn has suffered at the hands of the image makers. He is not a golden boy. Not for him, the pretty features of Robert Redford. Okay, oh yeah, he is technically an ugly guy. Yes, he does narrow his eyes a lot. He squints. I understand that. He does look shifty, but as Marshall McLuhan has said, the medium is not the message. His face is not his political message. This guy is a guy from another age, an age when men had to hunt to provide, hunt with only crude implements hewn from stone. He is the man who really cares about our much vaunted environment, who has fought tooth and nail for an atmosphere that is free from both the smut of bituminous coal and, in a wider sense, free from the moral smut of the godless. Thus, he is pilloried for his solid values. Make no mistake, Porrick Flynn is the right stuff, the extreme right stuff.
Dear Diary, Wednesday, homeward bound. Patch still hanging on. Oh, another day, another summit. What, boss?
What's that?
It's nothing, boss.
Give to duty free, for God's sake. I'm trying to get to know the Canadian Prime Minister, and you're trying to get to know Canadian Club.
That's very good.
Put it away, except for that one there.
Okay, sorry. There's a paper cup for you, boss.
Glass, PJ. Get me a glass.
Okay, there you are.
That's better. Look down there. Paris. La belle ville de Paris. City of romance. The French, they have panache. They have Valin. They have champagne. Our peasants are revolting, by which I refer to 99% of our parliamentary party.
Boss, they're not the worst.
They are too. I hate Fine Gael, but they're used to having a few bob at least. And that whippersnapper Bruton, he has his own farm. No land deals for him, bastard. But at least he has a few bob. And Peter Bloody Barry with his tea chest of treasure trove. At least they know about the finer things, like using a knife and a fork. Our crowd are barely used to walking on their hind legs. I've wasted my time at Ardeshina using rhetoric urging them to follow me. I should have just pursed my lips and whistled. Fine Gael with their gentry. Me, I get shagging show band managers and pet food magnates. Barry would know which wine to choose for Mitterrand. Collins or Reynolds would be offering him a pint.
You're getting yourself worked up again, boss.
Unbelievable, yeah. It really is a wonderful exhibition.
Yes, Mike, and a very important one.
Of course, yeah. Now that piece there is very striking, yeah, isn't it? Though a tad abstract, perhaps, yeah, would you say?
That's a fire extinguisher, Mike.
Wonderful, yeah. What's the title?
No, Mike, it's a fire extinguisher hanging on the wall.
Fire extinguisher hanging on the wall, indeed. The title is so evocative, isn't it, really? So redolent of a post-neo, ultra-crazy...
Mike. You see, it just happens to be hanging there.
Oh, naturellement, yeah. It could just as easily be stood on the ground or on a table, but the artist chose to hang it. Symbolic, perhaps, of hanging to our lives by a thread, do you think? Death by fire and all of that?
No, Mike, it's only there to put out fires.
Highly symbolic, I agree. Putting out fires, a sign of purification. That striking red motif, the cold, steely texture, and that hose effect, a phallic metaphor, of course. Who is the artist?
The fire brigade, Mike. Now, if you'll just come over here, I'd like to have a
so
look at
the boys in the helmets, well, fair dues to them, that's what I say. They all got together, put their hearts and souls into it, and came up with this delightful exhibit.
It's not an exhibit, Mike.
Yeah,
no,
not an exhibit. Extraordinary, yeah, well... Just because they are firemen, perhaps? Disgraceful snobbery on the part of the organisers, I should have thought. In any other country of the world, that would be a winning award. If we had even...
No, Mike, the point is, it's not art.
Not art, indeed.
No.
Not at all.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just a fire extinguisher for use in the event of a fire. It has nothing to do with the exhibition at all.
Well, there you are then, the incredible story of the fire extinguisher that everyone was fooled into thinking was part of that extraordinary exhibition of new Irish art, and caused a huge furore on the local art scene indeed. You know, strangely enough now, I did a little documentary on the fire brigade a few years ago, you know, a sort of PR thing, and there was this charming fella there.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
Wake up, Maggie. The party's over. Yes, indeedy. It's your favourite TD DJ on FGFM, morning, noon and night. Of course, we have our own new number one now, you know, in Fine Gael, Johnny Baby. We have a new broom, and we're going to sweep clean. Sweep Fianna Fáil out of power. We are the party. Johnny said it. The party of Ireland and the party of Europe. We're the party of Africa and the party of Afghanistan. We are the world. We are the people. It's all going to be different under Johnny Baby. Of course, he didn't get there on his own, you know. Certain people had to help him to the throne. I'm naming no names. Modesty forbids yours truly from claiming his due share of the credit. But I think we have a new star. I know we have a new star. We have made a new star, haven't we, Johnny? We made you. You heard his press conference this week. Fine Gael are the people. First, we're going to end the war in the Gulf. Then we're going to find a cure for cancer, change the road signs to Polish, and raise the ambient temperature by 10 degrees centigrade. We'll be looking at Articles 2 and 3, Articles 3 and 4. We're looking at all sorts of articles, newspaper articles, articles of clothing, definite and indefinite articles. Johnny hasn't ruled in coalition, he hasn't ruled it out. That's what we want, clear leadership. We're attacking the centre, taking the right, recapturing the left. He will be organising the parliamentary party, the non-parliamentary party. We'll not only be organising parties, we'll be throwing them. There's so much talent in our party. John will be giving an opportunity to those in the back benches to sit on the front benches. Not mine, I hope, Johnny baby. You wouldn't want to vex someone as senior as myself, Johnny, or we might call you Al. And you know how we dealt with him?
This case is one of the most serious to come before a court in this jurisdiction, Your Honour, certainly in my memory. The accused is, to my mind...
Who is the accused?
The accused man is a man who styles himself... one moment, Your Honour, to consult my solicitor. Who the hell is he again? One Desmond O'Malley, whose guilt we will show the court to be palpable, irrefutable, and manifest.
What exactly is he accused of?
Well, if it pleases the bench, the matters whereof we speak are unsuitable for the ears of the general public. If it pleases my lord, perhaps the court should be cleared.
Please continue. What is he accused of?
If I might clear this frog in my throat. What's he accused of? That it beggars the imagination. Desmond J. O'Malley stands accused, Your Holiness, of attempted reform on the legal system. Oh, dear. Oh, disgraceful. Quinsworth cuts a dash and cuts the cost of your shopping. Buy a farm fresh chicken at Quinsworth and get 2 free cases of champagne and your money back. Need a pint of milk? buy it at Quinsworth and we throw in a cow absolutely free. And in our fresh fruit department, every orange you buy entitles you to 2 return tickets to California to see your very own 100-acre orange grove with a 5-bedroom villa thrown in. Avail now of our free delivery service, and you get to keep the car it arrives in with a non-returnable chauffeur. Quinsworth. Now that's real value.
What I'm trying to tell you, PJ, is that we have just visited the greatest centre of culture in the modern world. What I wouldn't give to turn Marion Square into the Elysian Fields and government buildings into the Elysee Palace.
Now, boss, the new buildings we took over from UCD will be magic altogether. Your own Elysee.
Yeah, I could drive up like...
Oh, sweep! You could sweep!
Yeah, I could sweep up to my palace, to the Doyle, in one of those French cars. You know, like Day of the Jackal. What about the shagging ushers? Could we get the lads, to wear silver helmets and stuff?
I'll have a word with RTE and see if they have any gear in the wardrobe.
I'd be the true world figure then.
Oh, you already are, boss, you are. Should have met about you in Paris.
Indeed, Look at it below there.
Oh, it's lovely.
Paris. It's a great city. La belle ville de Paris.
Oh, you're fluent, boss. Neither on to be giving you a phone, yeah?
Why not? After all, France is my spiritual home.
Now, boss.
It's not widely known, perhaps, that many of my people went on the flight of the Earls. They were wild geese.
Wild man yourself, boss.
My great-grandfather's people were Bonapartes. Napoleon is a personal ancestor of mine. Even to this day, I have relatives who are personal security advisors in Corsica, while Grand-Père Jean-Pierre Hohy had his own vineyards and wine fields in the Loire, and my grandmaman was a garlic crusher in Metz. She was in the resistance, was arrested by the Gestapo for her table manners in a bistro near Montmartre. And apart from 1939, when I cancelled a cycling holiday along the Maginot Line, I went to France every summer, but I confess I never managed to learn that much of the language, as my cousins, the Marceaus, were people of few words. But I carry the song of the Seine in my heart and pine for Provence in equal measure. And the Eiffel Tower is a beacon to my soul.
There's the Ballymun Towers now, boss. Don't forget, you'll have the lads in the cabinet to put the manners on this week.
Paris, Gorbachev, Bush, Thatcher, the summit. Just when I push my burden to the top of the hill and I reach the heights, I roll back down into the mud. I'm a veritable Sisyphus.
No way, boss. You're a man's man.
Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Limerick Treaty 300 is where it's all at. Yes, we've had lots of requests for more poetry and culture here on the Treaty 300 Roadshow, and where better than Limerick to come looking for such things? Limerick is steeped in a great literary tradition, going back to the days when the Blind Bards Convention was held annually in King John's Castle. All the blind bards of Ireland would make their way, as best they could, to the gaunt, forbidding fortress that guarded the island of Limerick. And there they would sit, writing satires and beating each other up, which is another great tradition still revered in Limerick today. But enough of the past, what of the present? Poetry flourishes still on the banks of the Shannon, where every Sunday the Treaty 300 Poetry Circle meets and reads. Teams such as the delights of O'Connor's Black Pudding, buying back numbers of Ireland's Own on Little Catherine Street, and urinating from the Whistling Bridge, where we've all passed a lot of water these last 300 years. These are discussed and explored, followed by community singing, corned beef sandwiches, and a short explanation of the meaning of life by a visiting Redemptorist missionary from the Philippines. And now, thanks to Treaty 300, you too can join in the weekly hilarity of our Poetry Circle. Anyone can enter this very simple competition to write an epic poem about Limerick in the style of Homer. The poem need not be longer than 260 8-line Alexandrian verses and should reveal a cosmic vision of our beautiful city while keeping within the bounds of good taste, of course. And the grand prize will be free membership of the Poetry Circle for an entire year and a copy of Father Doyle's book of short verses for adult saints. Now I know a few of you will want to miss this one, so get down and get to it, as a poet might say, and lay that verse on me, baby. Go, go, go with 300.
Coming to your TV screens every day, the terror of rampant food, the mouth that quells and destroys all culinary resistance, the carbohydrate killer, TV middle-aged Mutant Davis.
Here's a little morsel of suckling pig, apple and milk and all. Come to me lovely.
And so ends the pathetic life of the savage suckling pig. When moron weirdo proteins disguised as giant T-bones hit the streets, Mutant Davis is there to stop their trail of destruction.
A wee daub of pepper sauce there, out with the giant laser steak knife. This is where you get your steaks. Cowabunga!
A major Kodak freeze-frame moment, but marauding salmon attack innocent women, luring them on with hollandaise sauce.
Help, Mutant Ninja, help!
Not so fast there, Salmon. I'll just scrape that hollandaise sauce off. Now, you can't harm anyone, can you?
Gee, thanks, Mutant.
Actually, I'll polish him off entirely, just to be on the safe side.
Yet again, Mutant Davis saves the day. Soon there is no deadly killer food anywhere.
I could do with a wee snack now, you know that?
Oh no, he's coming for me. And you watch out too, folks. Middle-aged Mutant Ninja Davis will be coming for you every day, live at 3. Lock up your larders.
And now, the continuing saga of Bernie in Baghdad. It was Thanksgiving in the Gulf. The smell of roast turkey wafted across the Iraqi border from the American camp in Saudi. To Bernie, it was the smell of freedom. As she awoke under the bush she had hidden in for the night, she felt dirty, despondent, and fearfully hungry.
God, I'd rip the leg off a turkey now.
But she knew it couldn't be.
And some stuffing, lovely sausage meat stuffing.
She knew it couldn't be.
Oh, but it can't be. That's lousy, that is, and the smell of it up my nose.
Her exhausted mind wafted back to Barna, lovely Barna, and the Christmas when all the family gathered together in the rambling old farmhouse, and Bernie's dad, a broad, bronzed horse of a Connemara farmer, would stand at the dinner table and say,
God bless us, everyone.
or something like that. And then the entire family, with festive cheer, would tuck in. In Bernie's mind's eye, it was very bliss. But instead of holly, candles, a quaint crib, and a brightly lit tree, Bernie's life was now arid, sandy wastes. A bush for comfort, and a life on the run from the dreaded dictator, Saddam.
This is gorgeous.
Her only comfort was Ahmadina, a poor but terribly loyal old Iraqi widow who also lived in the bush and had taken the Galway lass in and offered her the comforts of what the starving wretch was pleased to call home.
But sure, what else would I be after doing? And the poor girl near death's door from the tiredness.
Bernie had not needed to teach Ahmadina English. Many years before, in happier times, when she had a brief spell as Saddam's concubine, she did a diploma in Celtic studies at Trinity College. Ireland was in her blood.
Do you know Mr. Singh?
No, there was never any sings in Barna.
But this morning, as Bernie awoke fully, she became aware that Ahmadina was near her with tears in her eyes. Bernie forgot her own dilemma in her sympathy for this sad old cast-off woman.
What's up with you?
Ahmadina could scarcely look Bernie in the eye as she replied in death-knell tones.
Our great lord, mighty Saddam, he is after getting hold of your friend, so he is. He will be killed surely if you wouldn't be after coming back. His name is Tom.
The appalling Iraqi heat could not prevent the cold fear sweeping through Bernie, the love of her life here in Iraq, and captured by Saddam. Bernie howled with tragic intensity.
The bloody Egypt, what did he go and do that for?
And together the women began to keen.
Oh, your grief, you've lost him surely. You have lost the only playboy of the Western world.
Ahmadina had always wanted to say that line. Next week, showdown in the Gulf.
Dunn Stores welcomes all its shoppers and wishes to announce some special bargains this evening. Quinsworth Supermarkets, only $4.99 per branch or $10.99 including personnel. Super Quinn, $5.99 the lot. And for an extra 58p, you can have a half share in Fergal Quinn. And of course, don't forget our Morris, Pratt and Fergal Quinn dolls, only $8.99 including pins for sticking, dress and rags with removable heads. They'll be good for a laugh all through the festive season. We would like to wish all our shoppers, and of course we've now got them all, a peaceful and holy Christmas. Right, let's have a look at the Scrap Saturday menu. Well, there was Dermot Morgan. You know, he'll have his chips if I get my hands on him. Pauline McGlynn, a gamey bird. She's involved as well, and I'll ruffle her feather, I'm telling you. Owen Rowe, brothel boy. I'll certainly land him in the soup. And Jerry Stembridge, the Limerick ham. Oh, there's no cure for him. RTE's John Penrose, well, he'll certainly get his just desserts. I'm telling you, Dermot Morgan and Jerry Stembridge should get a roasting for some of that stuff they have in that scrap.
Scrap Saturday
from Q Productions for RTE.
That tribute to the late Dermot Morgan was presented by Miles Dungan and produced by Paddy Glacken.